The top 10 times American racism FAFOed about black people. America keeps trying. Black people like history isn't watching with popcorn. Racism always assumes compliance because it mistakes patience for weakness. This script exists because white supremacy has never learned pattern recognition. We are counting down moments where arrogance met consequences and immediately got FAFOed. Every example is dated, located, and deeply inconvenient for fragile narratives. These weren't accidents, misunderstandings, or of their time moments. These were choices made by people and systems who thought they were untouchable. Black folks responded with strategy, not tantrums. Racism responded with confusion, lawsuits, and policy changes. The funny part is how predictable the outcomes are. The sad part is how often racism volunteers to repeat the lesson. This is not anger, this is documentation. Let's begin the countdown properly. Number 10, April to May, 1963, Birmingham, Alabama, fire hoses, dogs, and the wrong children. Bull Connor believed segregation could survive intimidation and bad press. His racism assumed black parents would panic and pull their children back. Instead, black teenagers marched like they had homework due. Police unleashed dogs and fire hoses on children and somehow thought this looked reasonable. Birmingham immediately got FAFOed when television aired the footage nationwide. Americans watched kids get attacked and suddenly understood the assignment. Downtown businesses started losing money fast. White business leaders pressured city officials to stop the madness. Segregation ordinances were repealed within months. Bull Connor lost power and historical credibility at the same time. Unknown fact, Birmingham merchants quietly admitted protests were killing sales. Racism lost because capitalism hates embarrassment. Number 9, August 1944, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The transit strike that played itself. White transit workers walked out because black workers were promoted. The racism was lazy and allergic to equality. Black workers showed up ready to work like adults with bills. The system assumed the federal government would stay neutral. Instead, it got FAFOed when FDR sent the U.S. Army. Soldiers ran buses at gunpoint, which is peak humiliation. The strike collapsed in under a week. Black workers kept their jobs and their dignity. White strikers gained nothing but unemployment anxiety. Federal power sided with productivity, not racism. Unknown fact, this incident influenced later federal desegregation policies. Racism lost to logistics. Number 8, July 1917, East St. Louis, Illinois. White lies sparked national consequences. Politicians blamed black workers for job shortages instead of corporations. Racism redirected frustration downward like a bad manager. White mobs attacked black neighborhoods with official indifference. The system thought terror would silence resistance. Instead, it got FAFOed by national organizing. The NAACP staged the silent protest parade in New York City. 10,000 black marchers said nothing and shook the country. Donations flooded civil rights organizations. Media attention shifted dramatically. The massacre backfired politically. Unknown fact. This parade transformed the NAACP into a national force. Racism accidentally funded its own opposition. Number 7, February 1968, Orangeburg, South Carolina. Bowling while black was apparently a crime. Students protested a whites-only bowling alley peacefully. Racism responded with bullets like it always does. Police killed 3 unarmed black students. Officials assumed the story would disappear quietly. The state got FAFOed when HBCUs mobilized nationwide. Student organizing intensified across the country. Legal advocacy programs expanded rapidly. Orangeburg became a case study in repression backfiring. Officials avoided accountability but lost legitimacy. National trust eroded further. Unknown fact, this massacre reshaped campus protest strategy. Racism underestimated memory. Number 6, November 1979, Greensboro, North Carolina. Nazis, Klansmen, and conveniently missing police. White supremacists attacked demonstrators in broad daylight. Police mysteriously vanished right before violence started. Racism relied on plausible deniability. Survivors documented everything carefully. Years later, the system got FAFOed in federal court. Police collusion was proven. Financial settlements followed. Legal precedent was established. Video evidence refused to be gaslit. Greensboro's reputation never recovered. White supremacists gained nothing but exposure. Racism forgot receipts age well. Number 5, August 1965, Watts, Los Angeles. Policing pushes too far. Decades of harassment created a pressure cooker. Racism showed up as surveillance with no services. One traffic stop ignited 6 days of rebellion. Officials labeled it criminal instead of structural. The system got FAFOed by federal investigation. The Kerner Commission was formed. It concluded white racism caused the unrest. Politicians ignored the findings anyway. Nothing scares power like accurate analysis. Watts changed how unrest was studied. Unknown fact, the report predicted future rebellions. Racism hates foresight. Number 4, May to June 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black wealth was apparently illegal. Greenwood thrived economically, and racists lost their minds. White mobs destroyed black businesses with state support. Insurance companies denied claims using racist loopholes. Officials erased records and graves. The system assumed destruction meant disappearance. Instead, it got FAFOed by rebuilding. Over 80 businesses reopened within 4 years. Greenwood refused erasure. No government help was provided. Zoning laws were rewritten to block growth. Unknown fact, Tulsa hid this history for decades. Racism required silence to survive. Number 3, December 1955 to December 1956, Montgomery, Alabama. A seat became a shutdown. Segregation assumed black riders would tolerate disrespect forever. Rosa Parks declined the assignment. The black community organized immediately. Residents walked for 381 days straight. The system got FAFOed when buses lost revenue. Courts ruled segregation unconstitutional. White officials acted shocked. Montgomery's power structure cracked. Coordination beat cruelty. Black women ran most logistics. Unknown fact. Carpools were military level organized. Racism lost to planning. Number 2, 1948, United States military segregation meets global embarrassment. Black veterans returned, demanding equality. Racism told them to wait quietly. Black newspapers refused silence. Cold War optics made segregation indefensible. The system got FAFOed internationally. Truman signed Executive Order 9981. The military desegregated officially. Hypocrisy became a liability. America chose image over tradition. Racism lost on a global stage. Unknown fact. Segregation weakened U.S. propaganda abroad. Racism hates competition. Number 1, 1863 to 1865, United States. Slavery, bet wrong. Slavery assumed control through terror. Enslaved people escaped, sabotaged, and informed. Black men enlisted in massive numbers. The Confederacy lost its labor force. The system got FAFOed from the inside. Union victories increased with black troops. Intelligence flowed freely. Slavery collapsed militarily first. Legal abolition followed reality. Racism miscalculated its own supply chain. Unknown fact, enslaved people shaped battlefield outcomes. Oppression failed because knowledge traveled. And here's the part racism always misses. Every example followed the same pattern. Arrogance showed up first and loud. Black people responded strategically and patiently. The system got FAFOed every single time. Change came from pressure, not sympathy. History doesn't reward cruelty, it records it. Racism keeps assuming immunity. Consequences keep disagreeing. These moments weren't exceptions, they were warnings. The lesson has never changed. Push long enough and systems collapse. History will laugh while it happens.